I mean, I might as well get started, guys. Like I said, I don't want to hold y'all up. And if people get here late, that's fine. But I'm just gonna get rolling. And for the mentors that aren't here, like I said, I'm gonna record it, and I'll just forward the recording to you guys. I'll give you guys my number as well at the end. Um, like I said to Levi earlier, I'm getting like 150 emails a day. I know Jones feels that grind, so it's better to kind of just text me, and that's the way I'd like to do it. I'm just going to make a group chat, and we'll communicate that way. But my name is Jared Hudak. I am a 7th and 8th grade teacher at Samuel Gompers School, right next door to y'all, at St. Joe's. I'm a student council advisor. I'm the 8th grade class sponsor, so I do a lot of the graduation stuff, class trip, all that. And I just started a group called Building Champions that I'm happy that you guys are willing to kind of dedicate your time to. Our students really, really need it in a number of different ways. And I'll kind of explain that in a couple minutes. But thank you guys so much for being here. Our kids are really, really hype about the program. It's starting to get some clout. So yeah, I'll give you guys a second to introduce yourselves. Mr. Jones, if you kind of just want to introduce yourself, that'd be cool.
All right, my name's Clyde Jones. I'm a school-based teacher leader here at Gompers Elementary. I've been here for 10 years. I'm also a 20-year-in high school basketball coach in the area, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to always mentor children, especially young men. It's what I believe I was put on the planet to do, is mentor children, and I'm excited to be a part of this endeavor.
And Mr. Jones likes to be low key about it, but he's a state champ, district champ, so he likes to be a little bit low key about all the accomplishments. But I'm really happy to have him here. If you guys just want to introduce yourselves real quick, that'd be cool, and then we'll get rolling.
Absolutely, I can go next. So my name is Levi Anderson. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's far north. I'm a first generation student in university. Background, I'm on the lacrosse team. I'm a redshirt sophomore right now. And I have coached youth lacrosse back home too. So I have a little bit of experience with kind of helping out the youngins, which is always helpful. It's always fun to give back and kind of do it through a program that I kind of grew up through too. So it's always been good. And it's a little bit about me.
I'll go next. I'm Brian Fitz. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm on the men's lacrosse team here. I'm a freshman. I'm an undecided business major. Back home, I volunteered for a lot of things in high school that are similar to this. And I coached lacrosse for a 13-year-old team. They call it 13U. So that's what I did to help out the youngins, as Levi said. And I'm just looking forward to it.
So, hi, I'm Pat Taddy. My real name is Pasquale, but I just go by Pat. Just make it easier for everybody. I'm a junior here at St. Joe's. I'm a communications and English major, and I really wanted to get involved with this because I was actually reached out to from one of the campus ministers at school, and I was a camp counselor for 4 years, and I was actually an advisor for 5th and 6th grade boys one summer. So I really wanted to help out the community as best I could, and I felt like this was a good opportunity.
Great, y'all. Thanks again for being here. Mr. Parker, like I said to the gentlemen that are here, I'm recording the video, so I'm going to send it out so we can get more people involved. I know Miss Sims, Micah, and Mr. Jones's son are not able to be here as well, but our meetings are officially on Tuesdays from 3:30 to 4:30 every week. I'm going to talk a little bit about the program. But Mr. Parker, can you just quickly introduce yourself as well?
Sure. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Rennie Parker. I'm the community school coordinator through the Mayor's Office of Education, Office of Children and Families. Just want to thank Mr. Woodlock for allowing me to be a part of this. Great opportunity. Hope to bond with you guys at some point. But I did make a note that your next meeting is next Tuesday. So I look forward to continue to reach out and provide any services or any supports that I can to strengthen the group. Thank you for having me.
Perfect, Mr. Parker. And once again, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to try to keep it short. I tend to talk a lot, so if I talk too much, just tell me to shut the hell up, and we'll move on. But
Hey, Mr. Hudak, before you continue,
yeah,
Mr. Parker and Jared, you guys would be amazed to know that we got 4 boys that just showed up in Gomper Schoolyard that definitely need to be a part of the mentoring program. And I was just talking with them about it, and hopefully they'll join in. It's Nazir, Samir, Jasir, and Bruce. So
perfect.
four 6th grade boys that really need it. All right.
Perfect. And like I said, we only have 3 mentors here right now, but we have around 12 total. And we have 12 students join my first meeting this past Tuesday. I'm hoping to get the group up around 20, 25 young men. So that's kind of the goal moving forward, to add mentors, to add speakers. But like I was saying, I'm going to do a quick overview of the program. I had students take a survey on Tuesday, so we'll just go over kind of what their interests are. And then I'll give you guys my contact info at the end as well. But I'm just going to pull up the overview. You guys probably saw it in the email that went out. Give me 1 second to find it. Here it is. So kind of what I said to kids is being a part of this group will allow for you to learn new skills, practice new behaviors, strengthen self-confidence, and better understand how to effectively cope with a lot of the challenges that life presents, especially now in the current environment that we're in. Everybody is going to get assigned to a one-on-one mentor. So every single person or every single student that's a part of the group, I want to assign to one of you guys. That way you can really build a relationship, a connection with one student, while also being a part of the whole group. Just to kind of go over the program and the topics. So I want this group to focus around the mindsets of having a sound mind, but also having a sound body. We have a lot of students that are interested in athletics, but they don't realize that to be a high school athlete, to be a college athlete, just to be a successful young man in general, it's not just the sound body piece, but there is a lot of social emotional development. There's a lot of things within our own minds that we have to work on to be able to do these things effectively. So just to kind of share the responses with you guys and some of the topics that I came up with. So right now we have 6th, 8th graders and 2 7th graders that filled out the survey, but I had 12 total at our last meeting. Once again, I'm hoping to get the numbers up to about 15 to 25 kids once we start to get rolling with the program. Some of the sound mind topics that I'm interested in doing. So the way the program is going to work out, half of the time there will be some kind of presenter, guest speaker, or I'll be leading a presentation, and it'll be really discussion based, where you guys will chime in, students will chime in. But some of the responses or some of the topics that students were most interested in are career planning and networking, money management and banking, because our kids are all about the money, even though they don't have any yet. Setting and tracking goals. So those were kind of our top 3, but also coping with negative thoughts and strong emotions, interview and presentation skills, social media and technology, and then kind of planning and organizational skills. I'm going to add topics as we continue to go through the school year, but this is kind of going to be our starting point. And then some of the sound body topics that we came up with were athletics and team sports, dressing professional and personal hygiene, healthy diet and meal planning. Mr. Jones is going to do a presentation about the high school and college athlete. And I actually have another young man that I just met. He is an assistant coach for Westtown basketball team. So he's going to help us out with that as well. And then kind of working out effectively. So one of the things we did last week is kind of the way I modeled the whole program and the way I came up with the premise of building champions, aside from that sound mindset and sound mind and sound body concept, is I kind of focused everything on Kobe Bryant and kind of his work ethic and the way he lived his life. In particular, being a product of West Philadelphia, going to high school at Lower Merion, and being someone that kids really looked up to. And we have a lot of basketball players at our school. So we watched some Kobe Bryant videos. We read a poem that he wrote about basketball and about his work ethic. And then during our first meeting, students developed the mindsets and kind of the norms that as a group we kind of want to achieve. So students talked a lot about unlocking their full potential, not taking shortcuts and hurting themselves, being more confident and developing self-confidence, using strengths, but also being willing to talk about weaknesses, and then staying positive because change takes time. So those are kind of our mindsets that we're going to focus on for the group. And then the norms that the students came up with, or how we're going to achieve those mindsets, are to be open and honest, to respect everyone, including yourself. And we're going to welcome disagreement and welcome students challenging each other, but also maintaining that respect for everybody in the group. We talked about consistency and diligent and creating good habits, participation, and then the most important one, kind of what stays in group, or what is discussed in group stays in group. And we talked a lot about with the students why that's important moving forward. So this is kind of just a framework, and Kobe Bryant being kind of like that model of sound mind and sound body, not only being an athlete and a champion, but being a successful businessman, and a number of other ventures that he was involved in. So that's kind of a framework for the program. And basically, so we're all good here, I think. Do you guys have any questions about kind of those mindsets, sound mind, sound body, the norms? Any questions or comments about anything I just kind of went over?
All good.
No questions. We're good.
Okay, cool. So we went over the student survey as well. Here's my contact info. Next class, and like I said, the best way to get in communication with me and kind of what I want to do, and my co-teacher, Sadie Foster, she runs a girls group with a lot of St. Joe's students that you guys probably know, a lot of leaders on campus. They've been doing that for 3 years, and their group's up to like 15, 20 members now with mentors. So I'm kind of modeling the boys group off of her group that's been really successful. But I'm going to start, if you guys could just shoot me a text with your name, and I will add you into my contacts and then start sending out group messages moving forward about updates and about kind of what the lesson's going to be about each week. This Tuesday, our first meeting with mentors, I'm going to pair you guys up with kids. So once again, everybody's going to have a one-on-one mentor. We're going to talk about goal setting. Students are going to set SMART goals. I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms with your student so you can introduce yourselves. You're going to set some SMART goals with students. And I'm actually going to have trackers where you guys are going to discuss their weekly goals each week to see how they did, how they didn't do, kind of track those goals and put information into that tracker, so that once again, we can really start to develop good habits. And I'll have Mr. Jones and Mr. Parker talk in a second about kind of the population you're going to be working with. But just to kind of talk about the boys in the middle grades at Samuel Gompers School, our female students significantly outperform our male students. There's a number of different reasons for that. One of the things students talked about at our first meeting was that they were so hype and excited and happy to have ownership over something that was for them, right? Programming that was specifically designed for them. They're seeking mentorship. They're seeking that guidance. And a lot of students are just, a lot of our male students are lacking self-confidence and positive role models. We don't have, other than Mr. Parker, Mr. Jones, and myself, there's not a whole lot of males in the building. There's not a lot of male teachers, and some, but not all of our students, face the realities of poverty, lack of resources in the community, and once again, a lack of something positive to kind of put their energy into. So while the three of us have kind of been mentors the past couple of years for students, there's not enough of us. And there's not a lot of real one-on-one connection with somebody their own age or closer to their own age that they can really look up to. So I'm really hoping that this is going to motivate our kids to really start pushing themselves and hold themselves to higher expectations. But Mr. Jones or Mr. Parker, you guys want to speak on that at all?
Yeah, I'd like to add in, and it's extremely symptomatic of what much of our society is going through right now. We have a large number of our young males here at Gompers who are without fathers, being raised by mothers, grandmothers, and foster parents who are mostly female. And oftentimes, a lot of these young men aren't getting positive feedback from the people that are rearing them as well. On there are kids who are being called names by the people that are raising them, and they bring that anger and that lack of belief in themselves into the classroom and into everything that's going on in their lives. And I really believe there's a need inherent in those kids seeing you guys, seeing your faces, hearing your stories of triumph, of success, of hard work and effort and love, and those kids seeing that we're all here for them. We'll see it begin to change their lives and their attitudes like really quickly. But they're in need of love, tough love, caring and nurturing and real mentorship. Mr. Parker, you can add?
Yeah, so just to piggyback off Mr. Jones, I mean, for some of you guys, I don't know if you have younger siblings or little brothers, but or if you may have wished one day that you could have a little brother, what would you do? How would you mentor him? What would you say to him? What type of influence would you have on his life? So with that being said, a lot of these young children that come into Gompers, a lot of them don't have that upper male figure. They don't have that influence of a big brother or of an uncle or a father, or even someone that can be a positive influence in their life. So even with your young lives, you've experienced so much so far in your life in regards to applying for college and getting there and living on your own and being independent. So applying those particular skills and incorporating that with working with young people, that in itself is self-rewarding, because again, you're learning how to be independent. You're learning how to be self-sufficient. So we need more young men as yourself to just show that particular influence and then how you live and pretty much be that with the young people on how to socialize, how to act accordingly in public places and how to conduct yourself and how to create better study habits. So all those things is what we're looking for in a male mentor.
And guys, to give you a quick example, one of the gentlemen that I was just talking about is a student here at Gompers named Bruce Smith, who has the heart of gold, but he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I just had a meeting with teachers this week who were telling me that Bruce hasn't been participating in class and logging in and logging out and so on and so forth. But I know this kid extremely well. So I asked him what's going on. And, immediately he goes right at the heart of the issue and tells me, Mr. Jones, all I'm learning in math is on a computer, and I'm not being taught how to go through any problems. And it's frustrating for me that I can't learn it. So I get off. And it's that type of stuff with helping these young men with decision making and how to advocate for themselves and what they need that's really important.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Parker. So just to kind of close out, the number one thing that we need and for y'all mentors that know the people that are going to be working with these students, the number one thing is, just like we're asking students to be consistent, to kind of be diligent, I need that same energy from the mentors. Like the last thing that these kids need, and I understand that stuff comes up. So if you miss a meeting, whatever, something comes up, life happens, that's cool. But like the worst thing that could happen in terms of mentorship is that these students get a mentor, they really connect, and then all of a sudden the relationship's over like that. So please, it is a dedication, and you guys might not realize it in the first week, the first 2 weeks, maybe even through the whole program, but like your relationship with these kids is going to be really impactful for them. Like they're really going to care about it, even if they give you a hard time or, whatever might happen. It's going to take time for you to build rapport and trust with some of the students, but they really do care that you're going to be there every week. So I think that is kind of just what I want to stress to you guys. I don't think I have really anything else. Once again, my contact info is down here. So if y'all just want to shoot me a quick text with your name, and then I will send you guys a message on Sunday night or Monday before we meet on Tuesday, kind of about, what we're going to be doing for each week. Any questions for us? Any questions about the students, about the program? Just anything at all before I let y'all go?
Yeah. So I was wondering what's the exact date of the first Tuesday that we're starting up?
So this coming Tuesday.
Coming Tuesday. Okay.
This coming Tuesday. Yep. So I met with kids for the first time last week. This is my first meeting with y'all. So Tuesday will be the first meeting where everybody kind of introduces themselves, and I assign mentors. So yeah.
Perfect. And then also, I remember you emailing us a background check and everything. I was wondering if you could just go over that again to see what we need in order to. Okay.
That's an Amy question.
Okay.
For me, I don't really care about as much of that stuff, but it's more so for y'all to be covered if anything were to happen for whatever reason. It's more so coverage for you guys.
And guys, the main thing you need is the child abuse screening. That's pretty much it, and that's just a matter of filling out a form, and you'll get that back in a day.
Okay.
And just having that clearance that you can work with young children. That's all you need.
Yeah, and Amy, I think she sent out in one of the emails she sent you guys, she sent like a stepper at the bottom for what you guys need.
There shouldn't be a fee for that as well, because if you're volunteering with children, there is no fee for that, guys. So we want to make sure you definitely have your state clearances as well as your child abuse clearances. So I'll ask Amy about the federal, but I know for a fact you definitely need the state and the child abuse. So I'll find out about the federal one. But either way, you don't have to pay for it.
Right, and like I said, that's to cover you guys. And also to be able to get service credit, right? So like if you guys want logs or whatever for me to fill out weekly, if you have a digital log or anything so that you guys can track these hours, you can put it on your resume. I can be, a reference, a letter of recommendation, like whatever you guys need moving forward as well. I'm more than happy to accommodate you guys.
And also track hours when kids are going to call you at times that we're not meeting. It may be kids that want to call you on a weekend, or kids that want to have some contact with you up until a certain time of the day, that you guys should be able to log and get credit for all those hours. So as long as you're available, you should be getting credit for those hours.
And spread the word to your colleagues as well, fellas. I mean, this is a beautiful thing that I think that we can definitely build upon. So with the three of you, I'm sure there's always three more. So you may know each one of you may know somebody that, this sounds like a great opportunity for them to be a part of. So the more the merrier.
Yeah, and like I said as well, we had 12 kids come to the first meeting, but the kids that did come are excited, so now they're talking to their friends. Since I have so many mentors, and I know we're going to get more, I'm going to invite 5th graders and 6th graders. So as this program continues, it's probably going to be through the whole year. And especially since we're virtual, that kind of lends itself and makes it a little bit easier for you guys as well. If we do go back to in person, the conversation might change. But I'm planning on it to kind of be a year-long program. And then for you guys that are underclassmen, if you're paired up with a 7th grader and you want to keep continuing the program, you enjoy doing it, the next year you can stay with that student and then kind of even beyond. So that's kind of just the overview for everything. But like I said, I talked too much. I think I almost ran over my time. Any other questions, you guys can ask them. But if not, thank you guys so much again for being here. And yeah, that's all I have.
Thank all of you guys. Enjoy your Friday.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, folks. Have a good weekend, guys.
You too.
You as well.
All right, guys, have a good one.
See you.
So what do you think? Who?
I think it's going to be good. You still there? You're frozen. You still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Hold on one second. Let me end this recording.